Welcome to the Tine Talk Podcast, sponsored by Rack Fuel, premium deer nutrition. Fuel your herd.
Alrighty, just looked at the description. We're on episode 16 of Tine Talk.
Wow.
We're back in here, and season is underway here in Wisconsin as well. I'm the lone survivor over here that made it out in a tree stand last weekend. Everybody else didn't want to sweat it out and wanted to sit at home and watch some football, which I don't blame them.
Yeah, how'd that go for you?
Got to the tree stand, and I was sweating absolute bullets, but
I don't think watching football would have been any better for you. Your fantasy team is, what, are you 0-2 this year?
whoa.
Hit the button.
And how many leagues?
0, actually.
Oh, you're
1-1.
You're not undefeated. I know that.
In one league I am, but not any of the ones that you're in.
No, not the
Unfortunately.
important ones. Right?
I think I decided to go out hunting that night because I was kind of riding a high from watching Marvin Harrison score 2 touchdowns before I went out there.
In the first quarter?
Because I had Kyler and I had Marvin Harrison. I was like, yep, I'm going hunting. I don't need to.
I got him in one league. I was
it.
a little concerned after the first week where he was.
I know. 1 catch for 4 yards or whatever.
They seem to figure it out.
That's what Travis Kelce did for me last week.
Yeah, laid an egg.
Guy's a bum.
Well, 2024. Cheers, boys.
Here it is.
First blood of the
First
year.
blood, hell
Mitch.
yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Just got back from Canada.
When? How soon are you going to get that video out for the folks?
Hopefully within the next, if you're watching this, it'll maybe be out by now, but hopefully be in the next couple days or so, maybe over the weekend. Working on it right now. Just got another video out. Me and Dustin were out prepping some spots for this early season time too. And I'm sure if the weather cooperates like it's supposed to this weekend, we're going to be sitting in one of those blinds we were just working at, putting new scrape posts in and getting the clover all trimmed up a little bit.
Nothing like last minute prep, but I think that one spot we were there about dark, which is not what you want to be doing necessarily this time of year, but
Yeah.
it wasn't in the most sensitive spot of all spots. So
Yep.
I just went out yesterday, like late after work, and spread some oats through one of our plots that was looking pretty thin since it hasn't rained for a month.
Yeah.
caught
Glad
the
I
rain
did
in
it
time.
because
Nice
it's
work.
raining pretty good right now.
Yeah, she's raining
Yeah.
right now. Must have did a rain dance earlier today.
Yep.
But yeah, we were talking about Canada early before. My dad's been going up to the same guy for the last 10 to 12 years, Terry Neely Outfitting. He does a great job. He's been doing it for, I think, 30 years now. And before we came in, he was, I think, 13 for 13 or 14 for 14 with clients
This
before
year?
we got there. Yeah.
Really?
And I think my dad was the only person not to get one this year, but he was kind of holding out for a big one because he's got quite a few of them already. But
In the basement, he's got, what, 8, 9, 10 of them?
yeah,
there,
exactly. But yeah, it was a good hunt. Saw a lot of bears every day. The second night, I actually passed up the bear that I haven't eventually ended up shooting because I had a bigger one that was running all the other bears off the night before. So he came in that third night, and you were kind of getting low on time, and he was bigger than the one that I shot the year before. I'm like, heart started pounding a little bit, starting to feel like, oh,
Let him have it.
I'm going to shoot this guy. Didn't even let him get to the bait. I
It was
passed up
it was
shot
still a nice
opportunities.
bear, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. He was
What was it?
350 pounds.
350?
Yeah. So it was a nice bear. The one I shot last year was 300, so just trying to slowly make my way up, I guess.
By 2030, you'll be shooting a world record.
Yeah.
Keep that pace.
Speaking of, I just sent that bear picture, what was it, last week? Austin Powell. Shout out Austin Powell if you ever listen to the pod.
Yeah, that thing
Shot
was crazy.
a giant, dude.
Over 600, wasn't it?
655 pounds.
Holy shit.
And that was more local, too, right?
Yeah, that was in Whitehall, I'm pretty sure. But
That's where he's from.
That's where he's
but
from.
I don't know if you're hunting, if he
Yeah.
was hunting there or not. That thing was crazy.
And I'm far from a bear expert, but I've heard and I guess seen just looking at sizes of ones recently shot around here. There's probably less bears around here than there is up north, but you do find a little bit more frequently those 500-600 pounders because the kill rate isn't very high, being they have 10 and other things to eat other than your bait pile.
Yeah.
during that time of
Acorns,
year, and
yeah.
that's another reason why they grow so good. I mean,
That's what you
you
hear.
don't see shit for cornfields up in Canada. I've been there fishing. It's
That's what you hear people all the time when they're bear hunting. Like, it's not even worth it because once the acorns start dropping, they don't even come to your baits anymore. And I mean, I just went out and was on the farm the last 2 days, spreading some rye and some spots that weren't growing up as good, and just pretty much trying to fill in some spots. And there's acorns out all over the place. That's kind of where I sat opening night too. It's a big clover field, but it's right next to a bunch of acorns, and they got some really good oak leaves to scrape under that they normally do, and there's just marbles of acorns everywhere, and it's always a good spot, especially early season.
Who were you after this weekend? I guess I never really talked to you about that. What was your game plan as far as bucks go? I showed me a few mature ones, but was there one in particular that?
Last weekend I was hoping to see a buck I call Sleepy. He actually 2 years in a row bedded down in that same stand that I hunted last weekend right behind me and took a nap. 2 years in a row, which is
That the
wild.
one on Curtis's?
Yeah.
It was at the pond, that picture you sent the other day?
I think so, yeah. Is that 8-pointer, 9-pointer?
Maybe a 9. I thought it was a 10.
Oh, that's a different one, yep. That was the one actually that me and Dustin saw last year in the driveway food plot.
Hopefully he's
Got that sticker on his brow.
Hopefully you catch him on a better day than we did last year.
Yeah, that
It was a little
bad, yeah.
It was a little overcast, like heavy air, but
Heavy air,
man,
yeah.
I don't even think the wind was blowing his direction, but he 100% knew that we were there, and we were inside of a blind, not moving. Just picked up the scent right away. So he may not be an easy one to get after unless you get him in after a doe or something. But
Yeah.
hopefully
Speaking
it happens.
of blinds, that spot now we have a Radix blind. So we moved that Radix from Mr. Funky spot where you sat,
Yep.
and we got a new redneck there. Shout out Straight Arrow Outdoors for hooking us up. My dad actually sat there opening night. It's funny. He got down. He's like, holy shit, those blinds are unbelievable. I had a deer behind me the whole time, and I was moving and stuff, and they didn't even know I was in there.
I can't believe that he hasn't had more of them yet.
Well, we got that one for him last year for his gun stand, and he didn't even sit in it during opening day because it was too warm out, he said.
Are you talking about the ones he got with Rob?
No.
Those two? Or
Well, no,
get another one?
I don't even know if he sat in one of those, but we got an actual redneck last year too.
You did.
Yep. And he put it up there for his hunting blind for gun season. Yeah, didn't even sit in it.
They are nice. It sucks how many, any hunting video you watch nowadays, I feel like 75, 80% of them are out of the redneck, muddy bull, Banks blind, you name it. But
yeah,
which gets a little bit old. It's kind of the same thing over and over again, but they do work. They're comfortable, scent control. If you got a cameraman that's two guys, it's just everything's easier there.
Seems like the only thing you see is food plot hunting. That's like nobody's going into the woods ever, which
I know.
Me and Cole can't really say too much. We don't really go into our woods a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of just hunt the edges.
Which is a smart thing to do if you want to keep shooting big bucks, but at the same time, it's not as fun sometimes too.
It's fun.
I like going up in a tree and
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too, self-filming. It's so much easier having your camera arm than trying to bring a tripod and one of those blinds and move it around and adjust through a window and draw back and move it with your elbow or whatever.
Yeah.
Camera arm on a tree is way easier.
Way easier.
You gotta pick up the whole tripod in the blind and stuff.
It depends your setup though too. I've had that one setup over on that one lease we had where I had it set up on that window right next to me, and you could just on the pond.
Yeah.
If you got a pond or a food plot, it makes
pretty much
life
put it stationary right there.
Stationary at the pond, and you can maybe adjust it here and there. But so that's worked well for me, and then you get away with the movement where in a tree I've gotten, it's cost me a buck moving around with that camera. So
it just brings me back to when I saw Lebo 2 years ago when I was sitting in that blind. I had a tripod up and everything, and I had to take it off the tripod in order to film him out the back window and everything. And
he did not read the script though, as far as what he was supposed to do. He was hanging out behind you on the trail you walk in at.
Yeah,
basically.
he was walking in on that mowed path.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah, but we were talking about blinds though too. In early season, it's when all that humidity and everything, and the air is just so heavy. It's your best bet for controlling all your scent and everything too.
Until it gets too hot and you got to open a window.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. I thought about sitting in that redneck again Sunday, and I was like, nope, I'm going to get baked like a cookie in there if I head in there, so I'm not going.
Yeah. Yeah, those are tough. And then it seems like the hotter it is, the worse the flies are too.
Yeah.
I've had a few where you go in there and even when it's cold out, you start the heater up and there's flies that must be living in the walls that just keep on coming out, driving
Yep.
me wild. So
Dustin, you should
as
come.
comfortable as it is living or hanging out in those blinds, they still have their own issues.
You should come film me in our blind this weekend. I'm pretty sure there's a big beehive in it.
Oh, no. You see him running away. Well, when we were doing those scrape posts or whatever, there's a huge nest up by one of his blinds. I'm
I
like,
about fell off the ladder.
dude, you better get that thing before you go up there next time. God, those bees, man.
That spot's a cool spot. It's more of a, we hung it there or set it there, I guess, more of a gun spot. But I was just talking to my grandpa yesterday. That giant on the property, it's like, we don't know exactly what he's doing right now. He's been hit or miss on the cameras, but when he's been there, it's been daylight, so I don't believe he's living far away.
Yep.
But if he would go in and drop us off on Sunday, Monday, when we plan on going in after him, he could go sit that stand and get a really good idea of just what he's doing. It's low intrusion. You can see a long ways. You may not get to kill him, but you may figure out what the hell he's doing. And
yeah, you should explain kind of that blind setup too. That's unique. That's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
You look at it and it's like, what's that, a little outhouse or a little shitter up there?
Yeah, maybe on the video here you can add some pictures of it when you go in, but
oh yeah,
it's unique as hell. My grandpa made these probably 20 some years ago and didn't make them for a long time, and then kind of liked them and brought them back. So it's basically, I don't know how to, it's tough to explain.
It's like a fold over.
It's a fold over box blind.
Yeah.
It's an open roof, but then it's enclosed enough where the only thing is out is basically your belly button up and your waist, and then you can still have a heater underneath and plenty of room for your feet, so you stay warm. And the heat that does rise comes right up past your head, and then up front it's got a big old gun rack, and you can set it there. So
yeah, you can post up and shoot around.
Good for gun hunting, and like I said, I thought Grandpa now he could shoot a crossbow 50, 60 yards pretty good, and it's not in that bad of a spot. You can see a lot there, and I don't know. It's I think it's pretty underrated as far as bow hunting goes as well.
Yeah, let one fly.
Yeah, and if not, maybe you can tell us where that big one, what he's doing.
Yeah,
I'm
some good scouting.
A little stumped right now. But
do you guys ever do any scouting from afar? Sit on a field edge and.
We don't really have a great spot to do that other than maybe like the old shack that we only gun hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Cole refuses to go in there because that's real old and there's mice in there. Cole freaking's got really bad allergies and stuff. But I don't know. We don't really have a great spot to go just sit and watch.
No. I had a idea of doing it a couple of years ago, but it was a little bit more intrusion than a guy probably should have early on in the year. So we decided not to. But if you got the setup, I think it's a great time, especially even pre-season.
Yeah.
August, instead of driving around, looking for deer through the spotting scope, you can always post up on a fence line and see some place and get a lot better footage. In your case, get some awesome pictures.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. That'd be almost ideal to be able to do that. Just sneak up through a ditch or whatever and just post up on the edge of the field and watch them all come out and then just sneak back down and get out of there.
Yep.
But even like during the season, it'd be nice to go plant your truck somewhere and just scout from your truck.
Yeah. You know where John Rudd lives, so I don't know. Probably I couldn't drive, but me and my grandpa went up behind his place, sat up in his pasture, and you can see down towards the river bottom there, and there was hayfield, bean field, corn, everything, for him down there, and we ended up watching a couple of studs come out there and eat every day. I think
right where we've coyote hunted a few times.
Yeah, basically right there. You can just see that hole down towards the ditches and river bottom, and a long ways away, but we got some awesome footage, and even talked John into going early season, I think, sitting a couple rows inside the corn and try to kill the one because it was pretty big and he was being predictable, but I don't think it ever happened. But it was impressive just to get those guys out there early season because for how long
Get them fired up.
Yeah, it's farming season until basically almost November. So, but they've adjusted now.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's nice. You have all these different spots now to hunt, all these different blinds, and your grandpa doesn't have to wait till November 4th to sit for the first time of the year.
yeah, it's sure pretty lucky. That's for sure.
You?
That's some patience there if he's waiting until November 4th.
I know.
Mm-hmm. We were
It's
talking
like he's
about
got
it.
him tied up.
Yeah, and how much have times changed now? I know last podcast we talked about the trail cameras, cell cameras, and all the pressure that happens early season. And I think that brings that on. A guy realizes, who's there early and who's not there late. And, hey, yeah, that changes what you're doing as far as when you're going to hunt. So
Yep.
if everybody else is hunting and there's pressure early, big bucks are dying in September, early October, you're late to the party come November.
Exactly.
Where
Wasn't
10,
there
15 years ago it was not that way. And you've seen more big bucks killed opening weekend of gun season back then too. And nowadays,
Yep.
Wasn't there a bunch of
It's not
bucks,
the
like
same.
nice bucks last year, like early October, it seems like, around here?
that got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seemed like there were some bigger early season ones.
I have a hard time pointing the
When
finger
did
to
Lance
one.
Peterson shoot his
Well, that
last
was very
year?
early.
Like opening, or was it a couple weeks?
I think it was a
it was his first sit. I remember
first
that.
sit, and it wasn't long into it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was opening, but it was not long after that.
Maybe early October.
Early
maybe?
October.
Yeah.
So big wide 10.
I guess maybe not a lot of people we know, but like even this year I've saw a couple studs on like the report page
Yeah.
on Facebook
That
already.
190
Opening
or
day.
whatever.
Yeah.
Even during, and we had shitty weather opening weekend.
Yeah, it was
doubt
hot as
about
shit.
I know. That's another thing that we were talking about though too. Once they're got that summer pattern going, they're still kind of used to that weather though too. They get so much in that pattern. They're like, oh, it doesn't even phase me.
Nope.
'Cause they're not bedding too far away. Just get out there in the last
If you can
half
catch 'em.
hour of light.
The
Yeah.
one that I saw on there, that guy was like, my buddies are all giving me shit that I was going hunting opening day.
Like
but
you guys were to me.
Yeah, but he put that in the post. He's like, well, I still had daylight pictures of my shooter, so I went and he killed it. It was like
What
a
happened?
160, 170.
Yeah. Well, that just goes to show to you too. Like you don't like deer cast or whatever says poor and everything, but you just never know. Every year opening weekend, big ones get shot. It's not like it's just because it's good weather, but they're still sticking to that pattern, and you just got to get in and get out without them seeing is the
And
hardest part.
I've learned too to change your approach a little bit as far as when you do have the big one on camera, or a couple big ones. You gotta. Nothing's worse than having somebody else kill it, and then you're saying, "Hey, I didn't even go hunt it because I was waiting for the perfect day, and I tried to get too cute," and then you end up kicking yourself in the ass. So
I was just
learning
about to say that.
experience that does happen too. So I'd rather say, "Shit, I went too early, maybe bumped him," versus saying, "Hey, I didn't even give it a shot," and
Exactly.
you know.
That's a huge tactic for Wisconsin. Those more highly pressured hunting states, I think, though, too, is if you got them around, I think you gotta hunt them. Like if you have good conditions, good access still or whatever, but you still got to get after them. Otherwise, you can't just, didn't have the right wind, got to wait 2 more weeks, then he's not around anymore. And
Cole was here. He had
Neighbor shoots him.
something else to say, talking about back in the day when I bumped out Pretty Boy, that stud 8-pointer we had.
Yeah, that was a bad one. I'll let you tell
he
that
was on
story.
his way out,
but
though.
Yeah, he wasn't going to stick
He
around
wasn't
much
going
longer.
to stick around.
I don't know. It was just a stud 8-pointer we had. It was
Probably 2016, 15. Not even that.
I think I was in high school still.
Yeah, you were young and dumb. So
Yeah.
we'll do high school.
Yeah, but I was like, he was there not even joking, every single day.
At night, though.
And
Yeah.
well, there was like not very daylight pictures, but like close to like right at the end of the night, there was some daylight pictures. But I was just looking at pictures of this buck every day. It's like, I got to go right away. And I went up opening morning, never saw him again.
Yeah.
He was probably right there.
Right there.
And then must have booted him out, obviously, and he was gone. That was a hell of an 8-pointer.
Yeah, it's a tough learning experience there. But it's
Learn that the hard way.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But hindsight, probably the evening hunt, you'd had a better chance. At least,
Yeah.
he's probably at least in his bed when you go in there. Try to avoid that where
Speaking
in
of
the
high
morning,
school,
early season, it's like, oh, shit.
we were young and dumb in high school, too. Me and Dustin used to try to rack up how many days or sits we could get in a season. Morning and night, literally Saturday, Sunday, morning, night, just every chance we could.
Dude, you're not grinding as hard as me. I'm sitting more than you.
We were also pretty.
Yeah.
That hardcoreness freaking paid off. That one
did.
morning, which nowadays I would have a hard time doing unless there's a giant around in perfect conditions. But it was our sophomore year of high school. We were playing in Cuba City, which is a 3.5, 4 hour drive from Mondovi.
I remember that ride.
Whole senior year, and we got home at 2:30 in the morning or so, and this was October 21st. That night we played, and then next morning the 22nd. Which, granted, it's a nice time of year to kill a deer, but you're not gonna.
You went
You're not gonna
hunting
kill 'em
after
prime.
we got home that
Yeah,
That's
we
so
talked about this
impressive.
with,
And
with
I killed
Jeff
a-
last time. When
I killed
I
this-
pod too.
I killed a stud, and Mitch was filming that morning.
that was the morning you killed.
Yeah.
Really?
And
Then we waited.
Yeah, we got
Flip
home
deal.
late as shit.
2:30, 3 o'clock, and then we went and stayed at my grandpa's house. I don't even think you had your license.
I didn't know. You had to drive us over there.
I drove us to my grandpa's house. I remember still to this day my grandpa waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, crawling out of his bedroom, shirtless. You know, I think he was expecting us, but probably not that late. Like,
Well,
you good to give us a ride to the tree tomorrow? Absolutely. And it worked. That was.
it wasn't.
What was the
crazy.
date?
October 22nd. The morning is.
It
when we
wasn't his
killed him.
time to hunt yet either. So he had.
No.
he could give us a little ride to the stand.
Yeah.
He had a couple weeks yet.
Yep.
That was.
That. Yeah, and he was always good for that until the rides to the stand still is. I bet you when we hunt on Sunday, Monday, that's what's gonna happen. So
that's so clutch.
oh, especially you know where those food plots are.
Oh yeah.
As far as walking, getting in there, you can get in there. It's the getting out is what can kill you.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna spook every other deer, a couple of young bucks, and who knows, maybe him. Say he shows up 20 minutes late and is on his way there.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Yep.
You know, you can show your hand too early and.
It's a great point right there. Talking
Good.
about access, getting in and out of your stands, using a gator, driving right up to them.
Mhm.
That's what me and my dad do. Drive up to them, wait till they're up in their stand, just cruise off.
If you have
next
a
to the
ride,
next
that's
spot.
very nice to do.
Sometimes
it
I'll be
works.
sitting out there stranded and I'll have deer out in the field and I'll call my brother or nephews or whatever, like, hey, can you buzz up here on the Ranger and come pick me up, please?
It's
Then they're like,
much rather do that
Yeah.
than get out of the stand and boot them out that way.
they're like, what are you, lazy? You can't walk back here? I'm like,
just gonna mention the
"Oh,
average guy
dude."
probably thinks you're lazy as hell.
yeah, I mean, I would
Hey man,
walk
I had,
back in a second, but then I'd hear freaking does everywhere just
I had too many oatmeal cream pies this morning. I'm
waddling on the way out, trying to pinch one.
Otherwise, I remember like back in the day, like trying to grab a stick and like whip it out or in the field or something, try to scare them out that way and
Yeah.
not draw attention to the stand. But
If I have cell phone service, I'll try to pull up a coyote howl.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Has it worked for you?
It has, yeah.
Really?
Sometimes. Depends how close they are to me, I guess. If they hear it like out off in the distance, they'll like look around and like, nothing. It's all right. But if you do it, yeah.
Pretty close. Yeah.
But I heard Pat Reeve was on that Hunter podcast not too long ago, and he says he like just barks like a dog a lot of times.
Reeve
too.
said that?
Yeah.
Really?
Like if
to
they're
practice that
stranded.
one.
Yeah. Just a bunch of like dogs going at it or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably sound like that one. What's the word? That guy in that show. That's all. The inbred guy.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I wish I did.
We were talking about it with
Button.
with Luke, was it? The guy barks for communication.
So bad.
Oh, we can change the subject now. That's fucked up.
So you're hunting next weekend in the morning then, you saying?
No, probably not.
I don't think. When do you start hunting mornings?
Mornings, probably, I don't know, mid-October if there's a cold front,
Yeah.
I think.
Same way. I think that's the ticket there.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to catch them far away enough, far enough away from their bed, then to make it worth it, in my opinion. But other than that, I don't know.
Where are you going to sit for your first, say it's October 15th and a cold front came in, where are you going to plant yourself in the morning? You're going to be on the field edge, or you're going to be back in the timber waiting for them to go back to their bed?
Depending on what the cameras say,
Do it,
man.
I was just
Oh.
gonna say, do it Joe Schmo and everybody else does. Say what those cell cameras are telling you. Say,
Oh,
where are you
jeez.
gonna sit? It's true, and I don't blame anybody. I do the same thing. But
Yeah.
it's just so different nowadays, and we're young. I don't know,
Yep.
you know,
These days, man.
these days.
Gotta use
different.
use the tools that you can use.
Yep. So what's the plan for this weekend? I don't know what is the date today? The 19th?
19th
sir.
today.
Oh, also a huge announcement. We're Mondovi boys. Mondovi just got a quick trip. Let's go.
Open today.
Those rut snacks are going to hit different this year.
So shout out Joe Shop quick though.
Yeah, still shout out Joe's Shop Quick.
They got the coldest beer around. Best
Yep.
gas. Still, but
Best milk.
I don't think I don't think their chicken sandwiches could compete with Quick
Nah.
Trip, but other than that,
No, everything else though.
yep.
The beer and the gas.
But yeah,
The
it's
important thing.
September 19th. We've had like 4 or 5 days now of like 80, 90 degree weather. Finally just got a weather front that moved in, got some rain tonight, which is
Big rain.
bless the Lord, because we've needed that rain
It's been
for
dry.
a long time.
One of our ponds, the Chicago pond, was like starting to dry
Dry
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, we need it. Has it been a month since it's rained? It seems
been-
like it.
I bet you it's been roughly 3 weeks, damn near. But we were pretty lucky all summer long. The food plots this
Yeah.
year compared to last year,
Oh yeah.
look, hands down,
Yeah.
way better.
That one food plot you had, that second food plot with, I don't know what mixture it was of rack fuel. It looked freaking
I think I
phenomenal.
believe that was Tombstone, the one in
Tombstone,
the back there.
Yeah. Hey, shout out.
So
All of ours are pretty good. Corn and beans are pretty good. The brassica plots are pretty good. The one we planted the latest was our winter pea little section. And that one doesn't look very good, but we didn't get hardly any rain after we planted it.
Yeah.
That's where I was spreading oats and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oats? You a oats guy or a rye guy? I'm a rye guy through and through.
We use oats, but
I've seen both
Yeah.
work.
I think, yeah. Isn't it kind of the same thing? They both like them when they're like smaller.
Young and tender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be nice.
And they both stay green well
Yeah.
into the winter time too.
Well, it'll be nice if it doesn't. If we don't get as cold as it did last year too, with all that. I'm gonna go in and probably do spread some more rye after all the corn comes off, and try to like expand the food plots and get them a little closer. But if we don't get it as cold as the winter again this year, like that's gonna be a huge thing for sheds
A
too.
huge thing for sheds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember all the deer we saw when would we go shed hunting in Iowa on that green
dude,
stuff?
that was
out in the fields.
insane.
It's like saw a little pocket of just green poking through the snow, and then just all the deer
Deer,
right
just
there.
All it took.
Thick.
That's one thing about Iowa
that's-
too. It's just the little things of food that you see around. Like, I feel like we saw so many deer in cut bean fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
We did.
that's how
unreal.
Cole's lease was.
Yeah.
We were sitting over standing beans, and all the deer were over in the cut beans.
Especially in certain areas down there, you get down into the cattle country where it's so much pasture and cattle
Yeah.
ground. It's just when you do have a little bit of food there, the deer density is still so high, even after the EHD outbreaks. You're seeing the field fill up with. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does not take you very long to find 100 deer in some fields down there.
Yeah.
10 minutes at the right time of day, if that.
So,
So
I was talking about getting rain and getting all the food plots in, but what's your strategy for this weekend then? Because we're supposed to be getting a pretty good cold front coming from knocking the temps from low 80s to mid 60s or something.
Yeah.
So that's a noticeable cold front there.
Last time we had that, it was good news as far as what the camera showed.
That was like
The
beginning of September.
yeah, our big target was there, and right during daylight. And surprisingly enough, he hasn't been there since, which is still a little puzzling. But I don't think the cameras are telling the whole story there, or I hope they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And
He had,
I'm not super optimistic going in there, not having a picture of him in 2 weeks. But like I said, not going to miss your chance at a deer of that caliber
Yep.
early on, especially when you have the right weather.
Yep.
So we're going to give it hell.
gotta give her. Yeah, I agree.
What's the wind calling for?
I think
northeast, which
Yeah.
Northeast.
believe
Get
is
away with
doable even on that one. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
should still look into looking on the other side of those plots and just seeing if there's another tree where you can fit in a small little setup just in case
True,
he's there
yeah.
and we don't have the wind we need.
Yep.
That's what me and Cole did
Get in there at like 3 o'clock and
Yeah,
try to do that. Yeah.
I want to do that.
on a couple of
sure.
our spots now. We have both of our ponds, and then one of our plots we have a stand on both sides of it for like a south or a west and then a north.
Yep.
I think that's nice as hell.
Especially
like
when they're their best
during
spots
the
too.
during
yeah.
the rut when you want to be hunting like every day, you can go like either side.
Yep.
But
So on your property this year now, going into 2024 here, Jake, you, right or wrong, you got the biggest target you probably ever had in your 15 years of hunting?
probably one of them, yeah.
Same.
We should probably kill him then. Maybe
You should
huh?
probably kill him.
That'd
And
be
I've had
probably
some
going
good
to
ones, but
hunt
Imagine
this
same
weekend
day.
because of the, like I said, the weather and everything. We don't have many recent pictures of them, but hunting kind of the one side of the farm was probably the idea that he has been. There's the one pond we have clover. Like just this year, we planted clover around the pond and actually grew up pretty good. And that we can see in the background. We have a camera right on the water on the pond, obviously, but then you can see the new clover in the background. And there's been deer like hitting that pretty good. So
you thinking maybe in the south end towards the booth, or where do you?
Well, either I was going to sit there because that food plot is really good this year, and they've been hitting that pretty good.
That's my bet.
But
That's
if
where
it's
I'd sit.
north or northeast,
Pretty easy to
that's
get
a
to.
bad wind for that
Yeah.
spot.
I guess if it's south.
Blowing you right. Yeah.
Flowing right to the plot. So that's why I was thinking about sitting the pond that's on that end of the farm.
Yeah. Go hang a stand in them pines.
Too bad he's not a little more
Could do that.
daylight active. You could have sit right in your garage. The
Sit
last
off of the
pictures.
front porch.
Hopefully, hopefully you can kill him and
Yeah,
we can show
we
everybody.
are giving away too much
Yeah.
info here.
What's the address again?
Yeah,
Iowa.
What's your
you can damn near see the kitchen light on in the back. of
Iowa.
the pictures. I couldn't.
Yeah, down in
believe-
Iowa on our
could not
lease. That's
believe
right.
that.
Yep, right off the front porch. Yep.
I thought that was southeastern Minnesota, but are you
Yep.
are you and Cole gonna split up and go to two different spots, or are you gonna film each other?
Don't do it.
I don't know. I haven't even talked to Cole yet.
I think
I don't know
wanna
if
see
he's,
that.
I don't know
I've
if
been
he's
thinking about
hunting this weekend or not.
I want to see that buck on camera pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that I can get him on camera self-film.
Come on.
I think I know what you would do
Cole
if
still
you,
needs
if
to
you
get a
didn't have
camera.
mine camera and he snuck by you and left himself at a 10-yard shot too.
Well,
so.
absolutely just gonna shoot him, but
But so,
Damn.
which still be awesome. But it would be sweet to see that thing go down on film. If not this year, next year. But
Did
this
you ever
year
get a
is-
GoPro?
no. I just thought of that the other
Dang.
day. I was gonna get one, and I might go get one because
Cole hasn't even gotten his camera yet either.
no,
You guys are slacking. Season's here.
dude, we're slacking. We got cameras to put out still that we just
So do I.
ordered.
So do I though. It's hard.
Well, yeah, you
Now that
just
we-
ordered
You
them.
can't use mineral in Wisconsin, and I mean, there's only so many spots to put cameras early season. That's why I was kind of sitting on a handful of them, just waiting for them new scrapes to pop up along the
Yeah.
edges of the fields, and then throw them out there. And
I saw a new rub yesterday.
really,
Fresh rub up at that water hole up top, right by my camera. Had to go because two of my solar panel, the little thing that goes into the camera fell out, and it said it was low on battery. I'm like, what the hell? As a solar panel, it shouldn't be that bad. So I went up there and put it back in, and looked back, and fresh rub right behind it.
it's that time of year. I think
Yep.
probably most of that's probably nighttime activity, but
Oh,
still.
yeah.
So me and Jake obviously got a little lucky this year as far as targets to hunt, at least. Knock on wood.
Yeah, how the
Done any
how the
day.
turntables? Usually it's this guy over here with all the
what's
big
your
bucks.
What's your plan now? You got
He's going
an
to
ace.
Iowa.
You got an ace up your sleeve. I heard though. With
I
the
do.
Iowa tag.
I got the old golden ticket in my pocket, but
yeah.
my goal this year is to try to shoot a 5.5-year-old in Wisconsin before I head to Iowa, before I plant my
Ooh, you
tent
want
down there.
trying to get an early season Wisconsin one,
Try to get on something early, or
so then
just
you
try
can
to tag out before I get to Iowa, I guess.
So then you can just spend all your time in Iowa.
Yeah.
Not a
But I
bad plan.
I think the biggest buck I have on camera this year is in Wabasha though too, and he just
Really?
showed up tonight. Well, I had another picture of him before, but it was a couple weeks ago.
When were you going to tell us about this?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
sent
I've
a
heard about
picture
this
already.
one.
I've sent a couple pictures.
It's hard to keep
He was
track
around
of
last year,
Wisconsin,
too.
Iowa, Minnesota. All these bucks are just
Kid, no.
You were definitely holding out on us on that one.
I sent you pictures. I remember it.
When? I thought that was Iowa.
Nope.
Dustin sounds
We'll go back
pissed
through.
about it,
We'll
dude.
go back through.
The hell,
I'll show you after the pod. Maybe I'll
Okay.
throw it up on the pod if I'm feeling generous.
Kid feels betrayed. You better share.
I'm going to start holding out.
No, he's a 6x5. He was on
Ooh.
camera last year too, but he was
Okay.
short tined, and almost 100% sure he was 4.5 last year. But yeah, he's a stud.
Damn.
Still got shorter tines, but he's got really good mass and he's mature, so he's a shooter nonetheless. I got probably 4 or 5 other bucks back in Wisconsin that are, I shouldn't say back in Wisconsin that are maybe 130, 140 inches, but I'm shooting them.
Mature.
They're
they're
5.5.
That one you
yeah.
sent, like I said, we couldn't pinpoint it because I'm not looking at the picture, but that one you sent on the pond the other day looked like it had a big body and it was a pretty nice, decent buck.
It was over at that angle. Oh, easy, bro. Over at that angle, he was like kind of tucked in the water. And you could see his belly kind of swerving up.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the one that me and Dustin saw last year. I need to come up with a name for him.
I'm slacking on my name game this year.
I
as
know.
well.
I don't have any nicknames, I don't think.
I don't know
this
if it's
year.
I'm too busy or what. I say, hey, I'm going to think of a name for that guy today. And then just escapes my mind.
Yeah.
All throughout the day. And then you're sitting in the same spot the next day and the next day. Maybe I need to get in a tree stand where I can actually just sit and think about.
I might have to name that 8-pointer Bevo Jr. or something like that. I like that name.
Dude,
actually.
I was just thinking like today after we're talking about that, I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know why we don't like recycle names. It's
Junior.
like,
Probably.
Yeah,
It's
like,
been long enough.
it's hard to
on
think
that one.
of.
Could name it
names.
BJ, I guess, too. H.O.
That's what I was going to say.
I was waiting for Jake to say something.
I'm not.
I
He's
thought
the
you were
immature one.
I thought you were going to name him Cardi or something.
Cardi.
Yeah.
It's kind of wide ass or what?
Yeah. That's a.
You're not killing that buck,
24 inch
huh?
wide one, though.
He's on the DNS list, right? Do not shoot.
Yep, I already made up my mind, so hopefully he makes her through.
Why is he
Crawls
only
into a
4?
hole. Yeah, there's no way that he's
Tops.
5.
Yeah, he's
I thought he was either
Insane.
2 or 3 last year, and a couple pictures made it look like he was 3, and a couple other. Well, even when I saw him last year, his face just looked so like skinny, and his body just looked skinny. Given it was the rut already, he might have been run down a little bit, but I don't know. He's got that superstar potential. But
Yeah.
I
Can't
mean,
believe
he
the
already
ju- I
made that
can't
one
believe
jump.
That jump he made is pretty.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
going back to what Jeff said
Yep.
last time,
Yeah,
only have or
One
you've
big
seen
jump
it.
in 'em.
They only have one big jump. That's the year to kill him. Apparently,
yep.
Hard
Watch
to
him
know.
walk 10 yards away from me this year. Not widest buck I've ever had on trail camera.
this year you
hands
saw
down.
him 10 yards away.
No,
No,
imagine
same.
when he does.
Imagine when he
Oh,
does.
I was gonna say.
It'll be like me when I passed up Lebo and I text you that, dude, what?
Yeah,
It'll be like that
I was
times
pissed
10
at you.
probably.
That paid off.
Yeah, it paid off.
that paid off big time. But I
Yeah.
still thought you were crazy. That was
Oh.
a sweet video, just right there.
That was
Stud
wild.
buck.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe that he came in that night. It was like,
You did not
Bad
have a lot
conditions.
of yeah. You did not have a ton of daylights of him either, did you?
No.
Necessarily. I mean,
well, I did here and there kind of, but I kind of knew he like lived around that area. So I thought I might have a chance to see him, but I didn't think I'd see him that night because the weather conditions were not very good. I think the Deercast was either poor or okay or something that day, and it had been 75 for the last couple days in a row. And
yep.
look back, hour before daylight, and he's just walking right up behind you. I must have walked past him like within 50 to 100 yards because I walked up through that ditch and walked around the edge of that ditch, and I bet he was bedded right in the corn or in that ditch back there.
Did he come out
Yeah,
like
it would-
soon after you got there?
It wasn't too long, maybe an hour and a half.
And then the other thing I was gonna say, like, don't they always say, well, like your access if you're walking into a food plot set, if you walk across like a big trail, they'll always smell your ground scent too. Didn't
Yeah.
he walk in right where you did?
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
you got nose jammer in your boots, so don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
My
Shout out.
hats are all going to smell like nose jammer by the end of the year, too. I just noticed that the other day. I was driving. I was like, What's that? Oh, I
That's
already
your new-
sprayed. I already sprayed my hat.
That's
this
your
year.
new cologne, man.
I was gonna say you probably spray that in your truck for.
I do sometimes
For the chicks.
Yep.
for the chicks. Hey, oh,
We're abusing that button tonight.
I guess so. I was gonna. Well, we already talked about the early season plan and attack. We got a cold front coming in. What's Do you have any other shooters besides that big one that you guys are both after? Is there anything else that you kind of want to chase if plans go astray?
Ours, we have that pretty nice 10 that looks mature. He's got a gut on him that was kind of been around more than the other one. And I kind of don't want to go to our big food plot spot because we've had 3 or 4 times where he's came out already in the hot weather, like half hour after dark. So it's like if there's a cold front, I
He
could
might
see him pop out in daylight right there. It's like I kind of don't want to sit there, but Dustin's telling me I should kill him. So
Well,
That deer's a hell of a nice buck, too.
He is a
It'd
nice
probably be your
buck, too,
biggest
yeah.
bow buck ever, right?
yeah,
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
shoot him.
No, I would say, especially on film, let him have it.
Just let him have it.
If the other one slips through it, it's not like he's going downhill either. If he happens to be
Yeah,
lucky.
exactly.
So,
Well, I know
But
your
then-
mindset. You're a killer. You see him coming in your face.
I just
Yeah,
don't
I'm
want my
not-
fingers start
See ya, buddy.
twitching.
I know what'll happen. But,
That'd be your oldest and biggest buck ever.
yep.
So that's one thing to
Yep.
look at.
I'm starting to get old and patient here. Maybe, probably
Yeah.
not.
Probably not.
That's where I was going to go as far as obviously have the giant in early season. I'm going to hold out, no question, because I want to kill a deer of that caliber. But it's also been quite a few years now since I put a tag on a buck. So if there's that other big 8-pointer that was hanging with him all summer, or you got those pictures of,
Yep.
he's 5.5 plus. I'd argue that he's even a year older,
Yep.
but probably 40 inches or so less. But come rut, if we can put a good video down, I'm probably going to pull the trigger on him. And it all depends.
See what happens.
What I know now and what I know in middle of November is
Two different
be
things.
a lot
Yeah.
different. Hopefully I'm sitting on the couch tagged out and saying, Mitch, when you need a camera guy.
Yeah.
But
I'll let you know my dates. I got my dates locked in already. It's
that's my,
October 27th
that's
to
my,
the
yeah.
5th or something
Yeah,
like
I would love that too if I happen to kill one early. Come down and film on
Yeah.
Iowa. It'd be so fun.
that.
Yep. Because we all got
Just
that
after-
vacation sitting
Yeah.
there.
After hunting there last
I already
year.
got the Airbnb booked. Free stay.
Mm-hmm.
Come out. It's got a garage.
Even better.
Bring my trailer. Bring Gator probably so we can bebop around. I think that's
Really?
my plan when I go to Iowa in a couple weeks. Actually, I bought those battery packs, the lithium battery packs for the tact cams, and put them in all 4 of my cameras in Iowa. And
Yep.
2 of them are one of them's dead, one of them's almost dead, and 2 of them are at like 40%.
Huh.
Yeah, but I've heard that you need to use the solar panels too if you use those.
How many solar panels you got?
They're all up in Wisconsin. I might have to get some more.
Me and Cole don't have any of those yet, and we just got our first notification yesterday that one of our cameras is about dead. It's like, dang, I kind of want to get some of those.
They're nice. Really nice, especially once the leaves come off. They're unbeatable, even with
They pay,
Amazon batteries.
pay for themselves pretty quick, probably.
Yeah, I think
talked
that's
about it
my
a little
plan.
bit,
I'm gonna
but-
get 4 more of those, but I also might get some of those Moultrie edges. I don't know.
Dude, yeah, I'm
I
really
might throw a
tempted to.
couple down there. Yeah,
I really want to get those. Like that's pretty cheap for a cell camera. I want to get some of those for like weird spots almost.
Yeah.
Like spots where I've never thrown a camera. Where it's like I could see some deer
Spots
coming out
surprise
here.
you. I've had awesome luck doing that. I've been trying to do
I've
that
done
more.
that. Yeah,
I hung
I agree.
a camera the other day, because we have our cutty links somewhat centralized in almost too tight of an area. There's a couple of dumb little spots that maybe not right now, but as soon as the scrapes start getting, real fired up, and then even middle the rut when you see a doe and a buck go in bed and hang out someplace, or a buck comes and checks a little spot.
yeah.
Those cameras are fun to check, and they maybe at the end of the season, because they're not a cell cam. That's
Yeah.
my situation here, but you're gonna learn a lot, and I think you're gonna find a few you're gonna get some awesome pictures.
I kind of like that was my. I thought about that the other day when I was thinking about spots because we have some extra cameras this year because we just got some new ones, and I remember like shed hunting on my uncle's. I was like, I'm just gonna go over here where we never go because it's not a spot you would think the deer would be, and I found a little shed. Like,
Yeah.
it's you never know where
Yeah.
a deer's gonna go, so it's kind of
Exactly.
the same thing I'm thinking about with cameras. Just try some new spots.
And what
Yep.
good does it do sitting in your closet?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I got
Yeah.
too many of them that last year I didn't even get out with,
Wow.
Rob buying extra cell cams every year. It's like,
I have 5 or 6 regular cameras that I wanted to put out and bring to Iowa too, but I put that out on another guy's property that I was helping him with this summer, and I had maybe 2 of them that were working last time I pulled my cards. Like the cards weren't working, the batteries weren't working. I don't know. I just don't trust them enough to put them down to soak in Iowa and just you get up to the camera and there's nothing on it. There's no worse feeling.
no, that sucks. Have them lay an egg.
Yeah.
I remember nowadays we run so many cells, we know right away when something's not working. But
Yeah.
there was a few times where back, I don't know,
Before cell
8,
cameras?
10 years ago, where you had it in an awesome spot. And even my grandpa, the one evening was sitting and he said there was a big buck walked. I didn't get a shot at it, but he walked right up there. It looked like he went right past that camera. We should have pictures of him. You go and check it and it's something malfunction, whether it's your chip, camera, so many things, and it's just kills your mood. Or, it's been 2 weeks and that used to be a damn near a holiday at Grandpa's, going in and pulling the 6-8 chips you did have that have been there for 3 weeks.
Sitting down and
looking at them, and then your best spot, you pull it out, you punch the chip in, and it says, what? 0 pictures?
Dang.
I think we've
Or 5,000 pictures of a stick.
We've all been there. And
I make
it
sure that
sucks.
never happens.
Yeah.
That's one thing that you won't catch on
It
camera
sucks.
unless the ants get inside of them and destroy the whole inside of them.
I had experience as I was fixing the cutty links.
Yeah.
There was bees inside the cutty link that I fixed last Monday.
Dang.
And they
You
weren't.
probably had to hire somebody to come fix them.
Oh man, I'm
should
glad
tell
the
them
camera
what-
wasn't
Guy's
on the
not a fan of the bees.
video mode, because I couldn't believe it. I've seen ants and you name it. I mean, spiders, whatever,
Bees and
inside these cameras, but I've never seen bees. And I opened it up and there was freaking bees inside the
In
camera.
the camera.
Yeah, inside the little latch that comes down on the cutty link at the bottoms.
Well, that's not
What
even
if-
like a big latch, is it?
No, but there was quite a few in there, and I'm not a bee expert, but they were small. They were smaller.
bee
They weren't
expert.
wasps, but whatever it was,
That
I wasn't
sucks.
going to mess with them, so I went
Tell
the
'em
other
about-
way. But
Tell them about when you were checking those cameras when we were at your property the other day when you were changing those battery packs or whatever.
oh yeah.
Malfunction.
So we go with these, and we've had better luck this year now. It's basically the same battery that a Vexlar
Fish finder.
fish finder will use. Looks like a little car battery, and then instead of using, 1,000 batteries a year for all the cameras, my uncle bought a handful of those. Probably, when I say a handful, I'm meaning probably 60 or so.
Jesus.
And
That's more than a handful.
yeah, it is. But the cords are where we had our biggest issues. So the cord goes right up to the camera, and then you hook it up similar as like a car battery, the same way. But last year we had a lot of issues, and I think the solenoid box or whatever, it didn't handle the moisture like it was advertised, and we had a lot of issues there, whether it be just the humidity in the air or whenever it would rain. This year we put in a little, it looked like a little tiny little totes. We put the batteries in and shoved the cords out. We've had pretty good luck. But every now and then you get a cord malfunction, where Monday, I think you got some pictures
I got
of
it
it.
on camera.
I'm glad you did. When I went, I'm like, Mitch,
Tell
what
him-
the
show him
fuck?
proof.
Did you see that? And you're sitting there messing with your camera. I'm like, he didn't see it, but turns out you had
I got a picture of
some
it.
pictures of it.
You just see this
The
smoke.
thing, yeah, you get
Then you
it,
look
you get
back
it hooked
like-
up, and
Oh, yeah,
everything
you
looks
did send
good.
that.
Yeah.
It looks good, and then all of a sudden you hear it just zzz, and you're like, the hell? You're waiting for a little bomb to go off, and luckily it was just
Damn.
smoke. But we've had some tough luck with those cords, but
Yeah.
it's been better now that we've been using those little totes. And similar to where were we at? The cameras at Use the sun.
Oh, solar panels.
Solar panels.
Solar. They use the sun.
There it
Sun,
is.
not my friend.
Sun, yeah.
Sun bad.
It's better than buying 1,000 AA's a year, but it still has its issues, and they go dead. But then we take a handful back, charge them up, and then reuse them. So hopefully we can have some luck.
When's the
doing
last
that
time that
forward.
you've bought a new non-cell camera?
It's been a while.
Because I'm thinking about either buying those Moultrie ones or I'm just going to buy some non-cell ones.
It's been three years for me.
Yeah.
It might be longer than that for me.
And now I'm done. I see a good deal on Facebook, and I'm like, God, I should get those cameras, just from
I do
drilled
the
into your
same
head.
thing.
Then I look into my freaking hunting closet, and I'm like, cripes, man, I'm sitting on 10 cameras I don't have out.
I have,
Can I borrow them for the year? I'll take them.
Yeah, there you go. Sell them $10 a pop.
Yeah, there you go. I'll just rent them to you. Shoot the second biggest buck on them, and then you can use them.
I'll rent mine to you if I can.
You can have
Want
the
one of your
first.
stands.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, sorry. too
Anything
far.
goes?
Anything goes.
Anything goes?
But
Are you shooting shooters?
We'll see.
I want to see my dad's reaction if he sees that really wide one this year. I
I
don't
think
know.
he'll probably be in trouble now.
I don't know. I feel like he might be in trouble, but either
I mean,
that
that thing
or-
and
is
if he is, he's
probably going to
he's
be
impressive deer.
pretty impressive walking through the woods.
Oh yeah, he's 2 feet wide.
The thing is, yeah, how wide is this table?
The frame is just something that you don't see.
No.
I mean, but outside the frame, he's an 8-point. He's
Yep.
not extremely tall.
Really tall brows.
Got
but,
some nice brows,
I
but
didn't know he had a split brow,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
hell of a deer.
Yeah.
But just so wide.
Such a cool deer, and that's definitely that deer from the year before too.
Oh yeah,
Like all those pictures I had pegged out of him, and he was around a lot last year. So
he's not very old.
I do not think
Have you
that-
have you
Do you think it's 4 this year?
have you checked in with the neighbors at all as far as potentially letting that deer go? And
just did the other day,
luck?
and I don't really know.
that's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know
I
where they
don't
stand
really
on
know.
it. I told them where we stand on it, but
On business.
we'll see what happens. I
And if
always
they're
stand
not
on
if
business.
they're not on board, they're not on board. But it's nice to know that, because that changes your
Oh, yeah.
approach as well. So
I mean, I still probably wouldn't shoot him, but my dad might for sure after that too, because he let me and him both let go probably a 145 inch, maybe 150 inch 10-pointer. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Opening day, I saw him, and then he saw him in October, and he's like, "Why do we keep letting these bucks go if our neighbors are just gonna keep shooting them all the time?" I'm like, it's just the game you got to play. I guess.
game we play.
Yeah,
That does suck, but it's like,
yeah.
I've
Wasn't gonna
also
be happy
You
with
shoot
it
'em.
anyway,
it's
yeah.
happened to me one time too, where I shoot a deer that I wasn't 100% happy with.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm not going to do that again. And not that I wasn't, happy,
yeah.
but I knew it wasn't a deer that I was going to continually wanting to
Yeah.
shoot and put on my wall. It's like, you know what? No,
Yeah.
I'll gladly eat my tag over
Yep.
throwing it
if
on.
you pass him, you want one, or you want him to make it one more year, you pass him, he gets killed. It sucks, but
It
it's like at
hurts
the
a
same
little bit.
time that you kill him, he's not getting old deer either.
Oh, yeah.
And who hasn't that happened to nowadays?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
It's just gonna
Everyone's
be
got a
part of
deer
it.
that they've had on camera that got bopped by someone else.
Mhm.
Can't really.
Part of the game. If you can't take it, you're not going to have a whole lot of fun
Yeah.
hunting.
Might be a little whiny.
Yeah. We have those guys.
Oh yeah.
Might catch me on the right week, but
Right morning.
Late season, just frustrated.
Bad morning at trail cameras. Waking up in the
it's
morning.
usually about
I
the rut,
quit.
and I got 3 targets, and they're all
Oh.
dead, and I got to.
We never brought up how opening weekend you already have 2 bucks gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
I was going to do
RIP.
that as far as the with the weather too, as warm as it was. I did not expect. kind of
That one
pressure
buck
and-
was pretty
Yeah,
nice.
the one was real big, and granted, he was only a mile away, so it is pretty damn close. But he wasn't living on my uncle's property a ton at that time, which that property in particular is shown during the rut. It heats up quick. So
Yeah.
I have no question he probably would have made it over. But guy opening day is like, man, I don't want to hunt because the conditions aren't right, but I don't have a lot of plans. And you don't have plans. He said, screw it, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Gets to the tree stand. He's all sweaty. The bugs are bothering him. He's like, man, this was not very smart. But here I am sitting, and then it was close to dark, I believe, and came in and killed him. Biggest buck that he had all, all year on camera, and it was a stud. I don't know what it scored, but it had to been 160 plus. And then a different deer that was actually seemed to be living at my uncle's quite a bit recently got bopped the very, very first morning of
Opening morning. Damn.
And he was on the camera. It was before dark, but it was on our big uncle's pond.
That was a younger one, wasn't it?
He was probably 3-4. Yeah, he wasn't a horrible buck by any means, but yeah, on the pond at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you get a text at 8 a.m. Jeez, tagged down.
That's tough.
That's something you're used to seeing opening day gun season, maybe, but it's like, wow, it was
Couldn't let 'em go
75
one day
degrees
without
and muggy, and guys are in the woods and they're killing them, which leads me back to what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It may not be right, but hey, if you said you didn't even go out and you had a stud on camera and he slips up and the neighbor shoots him, which, yeah, you're not disappointed the neighbor gets him always, but
Yeah.
there's usually one or two big bucks that you're out there hunting for, you're setting your season on, and you don't want your season to be done before you even
That's
get
pretty
out there.
crazy. 2 of them
I
opening
know.
weekend.
The same property.
Damn. Double
yeah.
homicide.
Yeah, I joked to my uncle, I'm like, wow, that's a hell of a start.
That's what I said too.
Well, looking forward to next
geez,
year.
Nothing like a double on opening day to start your season.
Yeah,
That's
Yep.
wild.
it's a different world
I
nowadays.
haven't seen
So-
anything like that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Opening morning,
It's going to keep happening.
just getting bopped left and right.
Yep.
Oh well.
It's going to keep happening.
Yep.
Cell cams, crossbows. Just keep
It is what it is.
everybody, advantage hunter every single year. And it's only getting worse. So
Yep. Stay
you
positive.
either adapt and play it, or you don't get them. So
Yep. Just gotta stay positive. Be extra thankful when your buddies shoot one. Have some good tailgate beers over them.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Those are the best part of the year.
We need to have some of those. We didn't.
You remember when I shot my buck last year and I didn't even have a tailgate beer with you guys?
That was tough.
kind of sus, bro.
It was.
I apologize.
And we didn't
Sunday
have a
night,
podcast
right?
for weeks after that too. I was like, damn, I got all this story to tell, but nobody wants to talk.
Let's talk. You
We
gotta
were
talk about it.
we were mad at you for something probably.
What's new? Damn. Oh well.
But yeah, we need to. That's the one nice thing about deer camp is nobody. When we're after 5.5-year-old 150, 160 inch deer, you're not going to kill them every year. It's just the way it is. So
Yep. But when it goes
when
down,
when a buddy kills one, you better celebrate like it's you're.
damn right. It's good luck too, because I was with Jake all night when he shot his, and I shot mine the next day.
Yeah.
Mine and Ties.
Ties.
And
then
ties.
yours.
That was a fun
Yeah.
weekend.
What a weekend.
You gotta
Late
kill 'em-
October.
You gotta kill them in the mornings though, so you can
Yep.
drink during the day and party and the nighttime stuff and hunt the next morning.
What was the date when you shot
Not as
that
good at
10-pointer over on Lunds? Is that early November?
It's like
The-
Halloween, the 30th of October.
No, it was no. I think it was like the 2nd or something, November 2nd.
That was a good day.
That was fun.
Yep. Got to go out
Just
hunting
clean,
that day
slam
too.
dunk kill in the morning.
Tag out, get some breakfast, pound some brews.
Good amount of beers there too. None of them will beat the trailer after Dave
Oh,
shot that
no.
one though in the
That was-
morning.
That was sweet.
That was awesome. That was
I
a
helped
sweet
out, I
buck.
helped out on that one.
There was a lot of beers in
I
that
put a
little
couple in that
wagon.
Alrighty. Well, it was good to get back on the pod again. We'll have to get back on again soon and kind of recap how our sits went over the weekend. Get a couple more guests on that know what they're doing in the deer hunting woods and kind of show us the ropes of the deer season. But good luck, everybody, and stay safe out there.
Hopefully things go as planned here next week. We'll be celebrating something, but
Yeah, stay tuned to the YouTube channel. We'll be posting more videos this hunting season. Hopefully have a couple more kills on the ground and just keep it updated throughout the season. So thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.